Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the third installment of the Blake 7 Watch Alongs. This is another good one. Cygnus Alpha. And it's going to be having Brian Blessed in it and some other people we might recognize from other Who stuff. And going to bring on my co-host, Mr. Problem Being, Mr. Lee.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for being here again.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing old Blessed doing his understated, very nuanced acting. As usual. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. Very, very demure in his gait. I'm very happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me. And I hope people enjoy watching this with us, especially if they haven't watched it before for the first time. That would be excellent. From those who have watched it, can reminisce and enjoy it.
Brian's almost the same character in everything he plays.
Well, this is also true. But I'll tell you one thing. I did meet him, on set, because we did a advert. There's a whole bunch of us, and he is exactly like you see him on screen. I mean, as loud, as brash, as hilariously funny. He is such a funny man. We spent the whole afternoon with him, and he would, like, in between takes, he would just not stop talking about all these wonderful things. They had all these anecdotes and jokes and things, all these things that happened to him in his life. And every single one was just raucously funny. And he was just endlessly fascinating. I mean, you just think that if this guy just talked non-stop for a year, he still wouldn't be able to complete his full story about everything like that he remembers. Like, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Problem. Gordon's alive.
Gordon's alive.
King Arcanus.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
So
what a dude.
He was in some Avengers, at least one anyhow. Avenger episodes too.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been in loads.
He's getting out now. He's still with us, right?
He's still with us, and as far as I know, he's still as sharp as a tack. He's a bit like Tom Baker. Like that endless youthfulness. That not childish, but childlike energy. That absolute fascination and wonder about everything. This keen intellect that's absolutely needle sharp, and it's very difficult to snuff out a light like that bright, because it's just so intense.
Tom might still be mentally sharp, but I saw a picture of him recently, and man, he's starting to kind of look his age.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of weight, isn't he?
Looking bad.
But outwardly, you can shrivel up like a wet tissue paper, but ultimately, the mind is where everything's still going, and he's still on it. Like he's still doing big things, and he still sounds almost like he did 40 50 years ago. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, I guess there's no shame, but I mean, he is what, 82 or 84 or something like that now. Or...
I think he's 85 or 86 now, isn't he? Is he's older than he was older than my grandmother, and she passed away a few years ago. So I mean, he's of a similar age, that sort of being a small kid during the Blitz type.
No William Shatner.
Not as old as Bill Shatner just looks like he's done for the last 20 years. It's crazy. He goes into space, for heaven's sake. Yeah.
He kind of disappointed me a little bit with his sudden, like he's suddenly an environmentalist or something now. But
well, I think a lot of astronauts have a sort of come to God moment when they go into space and they look down on the Earth and they see all the sort of this site. I think that's why NASA created ketamine to prepare astronauts to go into space and cope mentally with this. But I think he had a sort of spiritual awakening or something. But he's a good Jewish boy, so he's probably reasoning it with his beliefs. But yeah, I think how can you not go into space and come out of that with some sort of allusions to enlightenment? Yeah, I mean, you've got all that awe, but everyone's going to come back with a different experience. I mean, God, that's one worry for me, is that if you go sending people into space without chemically sort of inducing a sort of calm state or whatever, you're gonna end up with a million messiahs, all coming back down to earth, going, "I've seen the light, follow me, everybody." And that's going to be.
Time Prophet said there's a Shatner movie, Senior Moments. I never heard of it.
No, I haven't. But thanks for the suggestion. That's pretty cool.
Well, let's get going now. I guess it's same as always. Like if you have your copy there, some of them have like the digital precursor, like through 30 seconds or so before the actual credits start, and we're just going to start right in with the actual credits.
Yeah, that's important. So you got that in some versions, especially I think with the DVD version, you got all the like a minute pre-title sequence with all CGI stuff. So if it doesn't look like certifiably 1970s, it's not the bit you want to be on.
Yeah. So can you give us a countdown, please?
Yeah. Shall we? Is everyone ready in the chat? If you're ready in the
chat. Yeah. I just figured they were ready. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But just let us know with a 1 or something. That'll be excellent. Excellent.
Bueller.
Anyone? Well, whenever, it's fine. Just let us know in the chat. Yeah. Maybe just kind of.
Are you watching a Time Prophet?
Yeah. Are you watching?
Press if you're 1. Ready.
No pressure, but press 1 for crying out loud.
Okay, that's it. Just go ahead and count down.
I don't know if they're ready now. I don't know what's going on. What's happening? What's happening, chat? That's nice. You're ready to watch 97, and we can get on and watch it. Okay, I'm just going to do the countdown.
Oh, I guess he left.
Oh wow, that's a shame. Well, here we go. I'm going to count down until someone stops me. See, this is important. See, how are you watching the episode? Well, you can watch it on BritBox if you got BritBox, or Duvd if you have Duvd. I
think there might even be copies on YouTube and Daily Motion too.
Yeah, and there's no, yeah, I don't know if this one's on YouTube. Hold on a minute. I'll see if I can find you a link, and I'll send it to you on DMs because I know where to find you. But hush, hush, we didn't do this ever at all whatsoever. Promise, governor. Right. Okay. Copy. Pasty. Right. All right. The Time Prophet. There you go. It's episode 3. So check your Twitter DM there, Monsieur le Time Prophet. And oh, you got it on Plex server. Okay. So as we said, if you've got like the opening pre-title sequence, which is only from like the DVD release or whatever, to skip past that and get to the star-filled opening of the original 1970 78. Totally screwed here. Yeah, 78 title sequence. Sweet.
Starts right now. Bum, 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 bum.
Okay, let us know when you're ready. Because we don't want to hold back all these millions of people who are watching.
Yes. They'll catch it later.
Yeah. Watch along with us later. Huzzah.
Do you know how long this is going to take to go one episode a week for?
I suspect a long time because I've been doing
4
this for a
series.
while with Jack, and it's kind of like it's been a few months, and we were on season 3 now. But it's been months upon months.
Might
Just
start
watching the little
doubling up
CGI
again.
bit. There you go. There you go. And you got the I'm ready. Nice one.
Alrighty then.
Cool.
Well, I guess now you can give us a countdown.
I will. So go on. What shows it? Teleport. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Teleport.
Teleport. Turn my volume down just in case. Lemonade.
I love this theme tune.
That's my other name, Cygnus Alpha. So we're cooking critters down on the surface.
Lovely.
Just yeah, put it right on the ground there.
Yeah. I love seasoning my meat with mud and grass. Dirt, yeah. You know what grass I'm talking about. That would be a luxury. I think that's a stock photo of
a moon.
a moon over the desert.
Ooh, there's
I think the budget definitely increased marginally by season 3.
Yeah.
Time Prop says every planet is a quarry in Wales. Yeah. Or a planet that's actually a Doctor Who planet. Over the hill anyway. Which happened once. They were filming Doctor Who over the hill in the same quarry at the same time as Blake Seven. I can't remember which episode it was. I think it might have been was it the Sontaran one with Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen? My brain's not working today.
So here we're following up. He's actually found that report that he was talking about.
Okay, a lot of deaths on your watch, matey. Some hell of a retirement.
Yeah, but old scumbag was involved, responsible for a lot of this.
Yeah, it does make you think though that teal, blue, green planet doesn't look like it's. You just wonder how on earth it produces oxygen. Nitrogen and oxygen.
The ship London. Backstory. Previously on Blake's. You can tell it's in the past because of the black and white.
Yeah. It's quite unusual they didn't put a KY, whatever it is, jelly on it. That's what they did, didn't they? They used like
around the edges on the.
They used like some sort of what do you call it? That the love juice stuff to make it blurry. You know. Vaseline, that was it. Beautiful, beautiful Liberator. Damn, Time Prophet, that's not cool. How dare they?
Now I'm worried about claims all the time. I got one on my Batman review, of course.
How double dog dare they?
Ooh, nice.
Gotta love Blake's tabard, don't you? It's like I worked at a greengrocer's. Apparently they had this wall that they put in and took out when they didn't need it.
So
see they're using the BBC Green fire extinguishers. Lol.
Marital aid. Try this out, Jenna. They're biometric. Okay.
It was only referenced this one time, and then every other time they just willy-nilly pick one up whenever they feel like. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you don't need to be pointing guns at anyone on a film set, that's for sure.
Alec.
I love this.
Couldn't do that now, probably, because standards and practice safety stuff. Can't blow compressed air into somebody's face.
Oops. And that never happens ever again.
Well, they didn't want to have to show that all the time.
It's antimatter. That's almost a villain move, isn't it? The system. The system. Oh, hello. Yeah, a 1/4-inch jack in the gun connectors.
Your computer.
I'm not answering you, bitch. Good old Peter Tullingham, yep.
Yeah.
He still does the voice of Zen on Big Finish.
Smug computer.
Yep, and Aurak. I didn't like the original voice of Aurak. It wasn't condescending enough.
Yeah.
So hats off to Peter.
There she is. Twos in Robots of Death. And a professor in Remembrance of the Daleks. Little model shots. Yeah. What's he know about this planet? And I'm back. Can you hear me there, Lee?
Huh?
Okay, I guess so. So
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Still here.
I got kicked off.
Watching
So
the story.
a little bit of dry ice. Always the coward. So we see the first bracelets.
I'm chicken.
Oh, the old wibbly wobbly. Down safe. Her hair is remarkably styled for. Well, didn't see him.
By the coward goons.
With stickers on the buttons. Good choice. What did he see? Not much.
Early maniac. Apparently. Before Zod.
Yeah, I like this religion. Phil was like, I want to join too. Should have had that the first time I went down. Solon, Morbius. Old rusty revolver. There is.
There he is. Oh man.
Are you just now seeing him?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if I saw all of a sudden I got jumped ahead or something.
He must be obeyed. Yeah.
Hairberry. Oh, what was wrong with Never Say Never Again?
Hmm?
I'm reading. Time Prophet says Pamela Salem had been in Never Say Never Again.
Yeah.
I
She's
wa-
got a bum look about her, doesn't she?
Hmm.
And him.
I said, sorry, Pamela. Never Say Never Again wasn't that bad. Can't see me. Stealth. It's the coop.
Sounds familiar.
Mm.
Very familiar.
That's what I said a while ago. The coop. Just get vaccinated. Everything will be okay. Where's your mask? Nah, I like the other one better.
She does look a bit like a clown, let's be honest. And that's what you picked? Jeez.
Fabulous hair. She's the British Farrah Fawcett.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Yeah. Pretty shoddily made if he can just crush them up.
Right. Probably made by Blue Peter. Spacecraft, isn't it? Still is big Shakespeare here. It seems unlikely. He's so deliciously camp. I love it.
Never.
I sound a bit like a space Yahtzee.
Thank you. That's exactly what we wanted to know. Neither. I'm the law. I am the law.
Beautiful it is too. It's Twitter all over again. That is Twitter. Brian Blessed is every SJW on Twitter. I command. You are mistaken. That's him whispering, by the way. Cancel him. It's quite I love that shot. Oh, there she is. Beautiful liberator. Time probably said, put him in the comfy chair. Put him in the comfy chair. Not the comfy chair.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
It's actually funny. Before you mentioned James Bond, I thought she looks so much like a James Bond girl.
Yeah, I liked her in Robots of Death.
I've never seen so much paste in my life. Good. Dead. Pamela Solomon was also in Remembrance of the Daleks. Yes, she was. Yes. With her hair all up.
Yes. I mentioned that earlier.
Sorry. It's a bit hard to hear you.
You didn't
Blake
hear
said-
that?
No.
Yeah, she's that professor. Give him a hand.
He slipped up there, didn't he? Well, what a performance.
Fuck up. We can't do another take. Just let it in.
Yeah, it's only slight.
Not like a heart and a flub or something.
Mm.
Boom.
See what happened to the isomorphic thing? You know, like it's straight away. Yeah.
Best forget about that.
Yeah. It's not very consistent.
He was in the Space 1999 episode too, where he's playing a similar
Yeah.
character. Well, he's the what's her name? Maya's father.
Oh yeah, yes. I haven't watched like
The chick
the
who
full
can turn.
series since it was aired. I think. I mean, I wanted to. I watched episode 1 a few months back. I should do it again. At least the first series, right? But that's one without Maya.
Yeah.
I loved Maya though. I thought she was a great character.
Catherine Shell.
I used to be absolutely fascinated with her as a kid.
City of Death.
Time Prophet says the isomorphic thing only works on the ship. Stop you taking 2 guns. Yeah, but who's to stop it from taking your gun when you're not on the ship? Come on, system, work it out. Think it through.
That's not very nice. It's like Hieronymus's followers or something. Gonged to death.
David Jackson reminds me of Peter Boyle a bit from Young Frankenstein in that scene. Proper 70s TV fighting. I love it. See, at that moment, Villa knows who to hang out with as his life is saved. Oh. It's one thing I wasn't sure about, that like Gan being violent. Isn't that supposed to be inhibited in his head?
Mm-hmm.
Time Professor, I bet she regretted speaking. Gan's alive! Idiots. I love that. Booth. Time Prophet says, I don't think, I think Gan's ship wasn't written in this episode. No, but it was written in a few stories later. And considering Terry Nation wrote all the episodes for season 1, or A, that should have been a thing. It's only when you watch it multiple times you start spotting these. Still absolutely, like, still my favorite thing in the planet. So. No comment. If you look really carefully, you can recognize the kitchen implements they made this set out. Oh.
He's wearing purple. That's royalty color.
I love it. Oh God! Yeah, that's not happening. You've been made omniscient by being dispersed throughout the universe. It's like you got what you want.
Got Brian Blessed all over the universe now.
Yeah, that's what you want, really. Have you noticed information rather than information? Sounds a lot more like Aurak, doesn't he? In this,
yeah.
I hadn't noticed that before.
They're both kind of smarmy or smart asses. Or
Ba-ba-da. Da, 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 da. Tune.
So a pretty decent one for their first adventure.
Yeah, I mean, I see this as a bit of a trilogy, as I said last time. You know, it's these 3 episodes have that running narrative. Now everything sort of, even though there's an arc to it, there's still like this is quite self-contained as a 3-parter, I think.
Yeah, still for like, I mean, their first like off-world adventure. You got the old trope cult thing going on, like you see in a lot of different stories. It's like I don't know, that was pretty good. I like the Pamela Salem's part, and
Yeah, she was an interesting character, but you know, the famous rule. I think you know, long before Game of Thrones, you know, this was the sort of TV show where you couldn't really sort of latch on to any specific character, you know, because you know, you didn't know if they were going to make it or not. And I think that sets it up quite nicely, you know. Oh, this person's going to be popping up a lot. No. So they don't get attached to anybody.
And they didn't have any qualms about changing the cast.
Well, that's true, you know. Well, that we'll address much later. But yeah, that was kind of addressed though within the series. But it's a throwaway line from well, I won't say the name of the character because she's yet to appear. But yeah, yeah.
I won't say anything about who goes first. But
who goes first? Oh, what you mean the T-Man?
Of the regular cast members, like who kind of like they get rid of.
Yeah,
I won't say anything.
No, best not. No spoilers.
Everybody knows anyhow.
Well, either there might be people watching for the first time, and we don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, this is, as I say, I think this is a great third act, really, for what I see is the Blake 7 trilogy. You know, the opening to set everything up, and from this point onwards, it becomes quite episodic, doesn't it? With different adventures each week, and until sort of towards the end, and then progressive series become a bit more overarching. But yeah, it's I think it's a very good start to really setting up the universe and the characters and the motives and the motivations. And now we've got our crew. You know, and I think the following episode sort of really sort of hones that down, doesn't it? Really, so you get to learn more about Villa and Gan, and so I think Gan is a little bit underserved. He does become quite a bit of a fan favorite, doesn't he? As we go along. Yeah. Time
so
for picking up another thing.
Should we even bother giving it a rating or anything?
Well, I mean, I don't know. What do people in the audience think?
What do you think, Time Prod?
What do you think, the Time Prod?
Out of 10.
Yeah, Zen is the 7th member of the crew. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's I don't know. There's probably not going to be too many that I'm going to give really low ratings. There may be a few.
There's definitely a lot of weaker episodes.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to be a bit honest about that. But you know, it's not so much the episodes themselves. It's the whole entity, the whole package, the characters, the stories, the just the nostalgia and the feeling of it. So all these things, you can't really sort of separate those things.
For me, probably a low score would be, if something that I actually didn't like a lot, would be like a 6.5 or so.
I would say like a 7 for me, because I mean, there are some stories that kind of do drag, and it's like, the ideas were good, but they weren't implemented very well. But this isn't one of them. But they do happen. You think, that could have been a lot better. Could have been slightly better written.
I'd give this one a 9, probably.
Yeah, I think just for Brian Blessed alone, that's at least
he's
worth.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's at least worth a high score. So yeah, I'd have to give it an 8.5, because I have to kind of be a bit more reserved with my scoring, because I know there's so many really great stories to come. But I mean, I think that's still a good score.
Don't want to just toss out the high scores for.
Yeah, you got to hold back a little bit, because otherwise you've got no room. You go, well, that's like a 10. It's like, well, what's the big difference between that and that episode that wasn't as good?
Well, Time Prophet gave this a 10.
There you go. I mean, I can't fault that, because if you lock into a story and you're entertained by it and you love it so much, I mean, why wouldn't you give it a perfect score? If it makes you feel that way, absolutely. But for me, I mean, it's very rare that I give 10s out of 10s, because nothing's perfect. To me anyway. I'm a critical, nitpicking MFer, so I kind of, but I love Blake Seven passionately with so much, and I don't want to reflect too badly on it.
Yeah, just the little things we noticed today.
Yeah, the things I noticed I hadn't noticed before, and it's only when you watch it a few times you start nitpicking, but it's done out of love,
Yeah, but that's still not enough to say, well, because of those little things, I don't like it anymore.
That would be insane. That would be utterly insane. I mean, like, for all its many flaws, and there are many, it's part and parcel of why we love it, because it's so of its time, and it does kind of, so it's like an embryo sort of cocoon, a womb, Blake Seven, because it floods you with a sort of nostalgia and that childhood safety where you feel, there's nothing really wrong in the universe, and you got Blake Seven and everything's fine. And that's how I felt watching Blake Seven. I felt like almost very grown up watching, because I was like, it's kind of like Doctor Who, but it's not Doctor Who, but it's space. It fascinated me. And the Liberator, oh, hello. Nice. Nice.
Finally got
nice.
it.
Excellent. Yeah,
And,
do love Red Dwarf.
Yeah, that's like we're up there with Doctor Who and Blake's, of course, and Red Dwarf. I've seen all of the like the first 8 series probably 20 times each. And
what do you think of the later series? Because, like, for me, Red Dwarf kind of stopped being funny. Like,
you mean like series 12? You mean, or?
Well, for me, I think seasons 1 to 6, I think, were the best.
I was still good with it. I mean, I'm all the way up to Promised Land. I'm still good with it, but up to, I was even thought up to 8, where they were all in the prisoners on the ship. That was still funny.
Yeah, but I think the problem stemmed when the writing team broke up, because you obviously had Doug Naylor.
Well, he left in series 5.
Yeah, and I think he was really the jokes guy, really. I think he was the funny one. It's like taking Ben Elton out of Blackadder, and you've got like season 1 again. That's kind of how it felt with Red Dwarf, only in reverse. So you like start off with like Blackadder 2, then Blackadder the 3rd, and Blackadder goes 4th, and then it sort of went back to Blackadder. That's how Red Dwarf felt like to me after about season 5 or 6.
I guess I'm a little more forgiving because I still like I said, up in 8, and I still like the 10, 11, and 12, but it just wasn't quite the same anymore.
I think when they lost Red Dwarf and they were stuck in the bug, that it started going down. And when they got rid of the laughter audience, the live audience thing, and when it looked too
that was like
cinematic, it just kind of started losing its appeal, and the jokes just seemed to fall flat for me. I don't know. I need to rewatch all of that again. I got I think I watched recently all the way up to season 5 or 6 not that long ago, and it just reminded me of how absolute genius it was, from the first episode straight on.
I watched all the episodes, just playing the episodes, and then again with the commentary, and I've got all that memorized. Like I said, I've seen them 20 or so.
I've never ever in my entire life listened to commentary. I just don't find it.
It's great. I love having commentary on stuff. I always watch. I like to hear what they have to say, and it's funny hearing the interplay between all the guys on the show and stuff. It's I love that.
I don't know why. It just
not interested.
Yeah, I guess I'm terrible. Like, if I'm not on a stream doing a watch along, then I mean the only time really I like the Blu-ray for Doctor Who with the on the couch thing behind the couch. That I like, but it's not the whole thing though, isn't it? It's just snippets of scenes.
They stopped doing it for the newer ones, like the 10, 11, 12. They don't do it commentary anymore. And
they're sick of each other at that point. Well, they're trying to sue each other now.
Well, that's just the two, Naylor and Grant, I guess. Grant's being a dick about it. So the Promised Land might be the last we've seen of Red Dwarf. I don't know.
Sometimes that happens, but then the band gets back together again. One more shout, and
they're showing their age.
Yeah,
I mean, it's understandable. I mean, Christ, it's been 30 some years since they first was on air.
They're probably utterly sick of the sight of each other.
Well, the reason I even bothered showing that is I'm in the process of working on. I'm gonna do my timely, now that it's been out for a year, I'm going to do my review of the Promised Land and share my thoughts and stuff on it. So
cool. Good idea. Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be done in the next day or two. I'm actually going through and doing screen captures from the whole thing. It was an hour and a half, so I didn't think it was that long, but it's taken a while to make my notes and get all the shots done and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, that is time consuming. Yeah. But yeah, I think Red Dwarf really wouldn't have happened. I don't think if shows like Blake 7 had never existed, because you've got this ragtag bunch of people on a spaceship, and the only sort of thing you don't have is like an evil federation or anything like that. But it has that kind of. I like that sort of ragtag bunch of people in space kind of thing, and it does have that sort of feel about it, a bunch of people who don't get on with each other. Just go through adventures.
And they had Norman Lovett back as Holly for this one, and man, is he looking?
Yeah, that was great. That was the highlight of the Promised Land for me. The main problem I had, I think, with it was the sort of repeated visual gags over and over and over again, like the cat flap thing, and that was like, yeah, we've seen that already. Stop going back there.
There's that, but they did. Well, I'll maybe save it for what I'm talking about when I do my thing. But they sort of like seem to go through like all the different series and sort of hit themes or callbacks to the different
Member berries.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Space Corps Directive, and that was big the one season, and they had other callbacks to different seasons that if you're a fan of the show, you'll appreciate, or you'll remember them seeing them in past series and stuff. But whatever. We'll see. I liked it. I didn't think it was anything fantastic, whatever. But
no, but it was nice to watch because it seemed to me that it had been an improvement on what I'd seen previously. And I think there were some strong moments in it. I just think it was kind of chasing kind of past glory a little bit, you know. And it's kind of, I think when you reach a certain age, you kind of lose your edge. You see it a lot with comedians and people like that. You know, they seem to get less funny as they get older, and I think that's something that it might be burnout. It might just be a mellowing of character. I don't know. Not everybody, but it happens quite a lot. And I think that is a factor in things like this. And you know, people do love these things so much they're kind of willing to overlook it somewhat to a degree. But
your old rose-colored glasses thing.
Yeah, and you know, you will it to be, and sometimes that's enough, but other times not enough. You know, for me, it's not quite enough. But I still enjoyed it for what it was. But it did actually make me want to rewatch it, you know, from start, and I did that, and I got all the way up to, I think it's season 6, and I was like, okay, I'm out.
No, six was still good though, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it, you know,
no, it's a matter of taste. You like what you like. It's like,
yeah, I think you know, I'm willing to go back, I think, and give it a new appraisal.
They had some classic stuff on 6 with the sirens and the gunmen of the apocalypse, and anyhow.
Yeah. Oh, look, with Blake 7 stream.
I'm just gonna have a riff stream sometime where I just start talking about anything. I feel like,
why not? Absolutely.
Talk to myself or whatever. But all right. Well, that's I'm gonna call it a day here for the watch along. Thanks to Time Prophet for being here. Appreciate it. And next week be episode 4, and hopefully we'll have some other panelists here. I always love having Lee here, but hopefully we keep putting out the invites, and hopefully somebody will
take
I think us up on it.
In America, it's like somewhere sort of around 11:30 or earlier in the morning, and in the UK it's like 4:30, and it's kind of maybe a bit of a weird time for a lot of people. So I don't know. I mean, it's difficult because on this day as well, you know, there's Doctor Who watch-alongs on the TARDIS zone and things. So it's very hard to kind of balance it out and get the timing right, isn't it?
Well, that's why I did.
Can people just stop streaming at the same time, please? Thank you.
I tried to do it earlier so I wouldn't conflict with it.
Like, yeah, no, that's the thing though, because then you're not getting your prime audience. You know, it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, it would be nice to have some more Blake 7 typey people. I mean, it's I don't understand. You know, like is it too soon? Is it too late?
Well, Time Prophet just by chance saw it. He says on a Twitter post.
There you go. Well, we'll try and pick it up. You know, we'll try and pick it up. But I mean, obviously, people can copy and paste and say, "Hey, have you seen that? There's a Blake 7 watch. Well, please do that. Put it on your social medias and subscribe to Alpha and find us on Twitter and keep an eye out." So if you're watching this later on in the day or down the line or whatever, and you think, "Oh, fancy
still trying to get to 100. I was up to 97, and then somebody must have said, "Screw this guy." And
that's just Twitter playing its
back down to 96 again. So I'm ever so close to 100.
Yeah, it always seems to be when you're sort of peaking around certain milestone, you just go, not quite, not quite, not quite. It's like, stop teasing me.
Yeah, I'm not all about that, but that would be a nice milestone.
Well, that's it. I you know, I don't really obsess heavily on subscribe. Like if people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It's the same with Twitter. Like I recently just got over 1,000, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I don't. I did sort of jokingly say, you know, free gift when I got to 99,999 for the next subscriber for the town. But that, you know, I don't care about that. It's like if people like what I have to say, that's fine. That's great. It's not all about that. No, it's more about the interaction than it is about numbers for me. I think that's the key thing. I think if you put too much emphasis on numbers, then you know it's kind of spreads thin. If you're more focused on the interaction and the content, then you're guaranteed quality rather than quantity. I mean, that's what I think anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for being here, Lee. Thanks to Time Prophet in the chat for being here. And have a good day, everybody. We'll see you the next time around. Bye-bye.
Bye.